Houston Sports Talk from Htownlowdown, here to bring you your latest sports news from your Houston Texans, Astros, and your Houston Rockets. Now, the crew, Htownlowdown.
Awesome. Just another day in paradise.
We do have our local open here, in Houston, the Shell Houston Open. When are you going to do that?
We'll follow you, Jason.
At the minimum, next March.
The biggest bandwagon fan in the world.
Well, when you're 9 years old, of course you're a bandwagon
So
fan.
the USA just got knocked out of soccer. Who's your favorite sports soccer team now in the World Cup?
No one. No. I've changed. I'm not a bandwagon fan.
See him go, but if he's gonna throw a fit, if you're gonna sit back and say, I want to trade, I want to be here, and he just keeps holding out, then you gotta let him go.
So we're from Houston. Let's get a little Houston sports talk in here.
Hey everybody, welcome to our next episode of Htownlowdown. I'm here with my three great buds. I've got junior producer Clayton Scott, awesome co-host Jason Graves, and our returning hero Jeremy Dennis. Say hello, Jeremy. We missed you, buddy.
What's going on, guys? Good to be back. Let's get this going.
All right. So, how's your week been, Jason?
Not bad. Very interesting. It always is fantastic whenever the weekend starts. So I'm pretty excited for the upcoming weekend with the Hall of Fame game coming up and looking at all the dust that settled from the NBA or the MLB trade deadline. So, how about yourself?
Man, it's just been a week, just average week. Still here, and I'm here to have some fun. Jeremy, how you been, dude?
Can't complain, man. Like y'all said, another week down. It's the weekend. Let's get it going.
Clayton, you doing all right? I guess he's doing fine. All right, so one of the first things I wanted to get in on this whole Arian Foster thing. Is he just trolling the media, or is he just really pissed off?
He's just a dick. What he is. He's an asshole.
Yeah, he seems like he's really sour.
He's butthurt over the whole his little love child deal and the way the media covered it. I mean, they showed up his house and all that, and I think this is his way of throwing a fit about it.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. Like it was pretty classless on Channel 26 to do that. I can see why he's just has this whole like vendetta against the media now, but also, at some point you got to give some answers or something. At some point, like that's going to come back and haunt you in the long run.
Yeah, he definitely has a point on how the media came to his house and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know if what he's doing is the correct way to go about it, but he definitely has some sort of vendetta against the whole media right now. Hopefully this ends soon. He goes ahead and will become happy with the media. He'll have a good game, and the media will love him once again. And sadly enough, the media, including us, are that quick to forget.
Well, I think if he doesn't have a good season or doesn't, return to some kind of form, then he's on the edge of kind of falling out with Houston.
Yeah,
fans.
I think this could possibly be his and Andre's last year. Because they're getting paid a lot of money, and if they don't produce, that's the NFL. It's called the NFL, the not for long league, for a while.
Didn't Bob McNair say that they're not going to cut Andre?
Yeah, they're not cutting Andre. This is not.
He doesn't have any guaranteed money, but they're not going to cut him.
Yeah, there's no way they cut Andre Johnson.
Sure, you're gonna pay $15 million to a 34-year-old wide receiver.
As long as he keeps producing. I mean, didn't he have like second most yards last year?
Yeah, I mean,
one of the top.
It's not like he's falling off.
Yeah, he's still a top tier wide receiver,
But
right?
at some point, does loyalty doesn't fiscal responsibility overshadow loyalty?
I would agree to.
What about production? He's still producing.
Yeah, I think
you can throw out his age all you want, but if he's still producing, why does that matter?
I mean, he might not even produce this year. I mean, you have Fitzpatrick. The guy's inaccurate after 20 yards.
That goes back to all the question marks and why I don't think we're going to have a 10-win season. But that's a whole different topic.
That's a whole different topic, to say the least.
I know. Oh, my God.
I mean, you could say Matt Schaub had the exact same issue that Ryan Fitzpatrick has. But
Matt Schaub was accurate. Matt Schaub wasn't
outside 20 yards.
Yeah, he was.
Are you kidding me?
He was
His
more
ball was
accurate.
deplorable.
Yeah, it was deplorable because Andre would have to run back and catch it, but he was still pretty accurate. He's more accurate than Fitzpatrick is. Fitzpatrick has always had a more interception to touchdown ratio throughout his whole career.
He has a lot more talent here in Houston than he did in Buffalo. I mean, all they had in Buffalo was, Stevie Johnson? Are we going to equate Stevie Johnson as Andre Johnson? Not to mention the fact that the weather out in Buffalo is usually not passing weather.
No, that's
don't get me wrong. I do admit that he's probably not one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He's probably bottom 5 when it comes to quarterbacks that you want to win the game. But to say that Matt Schaub was better than him is... I don't know. It just seems you're like, all right, fine. If he is better, they're both crap. I don't know.
I mean, I think it came down to, you have to have a quarterback to play the game. So they had to fill that position. I don't think O'Brien's on board with Keenum. I don't think anybody should be. So they signed him just to put a body in there. I don't think Savage is the future either. I think they're still waiting on their guy. But Fitzpatrick's going to be in there in the meantime, and I doubt he plays every game this season.
I think O'Brien is hating everybody that Rick Smith has drafted. I mean, look at that. He cut Brennan Williams. He just cut. Who did he just cut? Trevardo Williams. What does that say? Does that say that Bill O'Brien is a better evaluator of talent than Rick Smith is? And if that's the case, then how does Rick Smith still have a damn job if we only have 3 players from last year's draft, not 2 or 3 years ago's draft? We only have 3 players on the draft. We still have 3 players from the roster from last year's draft.
The problem I have with Rick Smith, really, in general, is our last 4 years, all we have is J.J. Watt and a whole bunch of middling around average role player guys. I mean,
I don't know. We have Brooks Reed.
He wasn't in the last 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. He's going.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in the same
J.J. Watt
as J.J. Watt.
And Brooks Reed, has he really been good?
Hey,
no,
I love him.
He disappeared.
He disappeared.
What, 2 years?
He's been average at best.
He's below average.
Below average, to a point where they had to move him because he hasn't been good.
I mean,
look at this. He was good in 2011. The last 2 years, he's been almost non-existent.
Look at this. This is our draft from last year. First pick, DeAndre Hopkins. How's he doing? I think he's good. You know, he just had to adjust to the NFL.
I think he had a decent rookie year. I think he's going to keep improving.
Second pick was Swearinger.
Took some lumps.
Yeah, he took some lumps, and
I think the jury's still out on him.
And then Brennan Williams is gone. Sam Montgomery couldn't stay in shape. Trevardo Williams just got cut today. Questenberry, he got hit with the cancer bug, man. That sucks, man, because I thought he was going to be something really, really good. And our thoughts and prayers are out to him. Hope you recover, buddy. Alan Bonner couldn't stay healthy. He's cut. Chris Jones, that was that guy that we drafted, but then we cut him, and then he went to the Patriots.
And he was average over there.
He just got, 7-8 sacks for them? And then Ryan Griffin, who is on the roster. Yeah, that's the third guy that's still on the roster, but now he's hidden behind Garrett Graham and then the new tight end they just drafted, Fedorowicz, or I don't know what the hell his name is.
I don't know. I thought Ryan Griffin did well when he was thrust in action last year. I mean, maybe he makes the team. Maybe he goes ahead of whatever the new guy's name is, the new tight end. I don't know. What I do know is that Rick Smith is.
But do you put this draft on Rick Smith? Is this
the draft you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about all those rumors where you hear about Kubiak was the one that had the final say so, and everyone that was drafted?
What the hell does Rick Smith do then?
Yeah. You're the GM.
He's
You're the general manager.
He's the godfather to Cal McNair's kid.
I don't know.
He's buddy with the McNair family.
He is very buddy with the McNair family. To say that guy's been a good GM is ridiculous. He's been terrible.
And that's funny because coming off 2011 season, going into 2012, I mean, all of us included were praising Rick Smith. Whether he extended Aaron, I know maybe not y'all. And then we gave y'all didn't agree with it because y'all were wanting to trade Aaron. couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave Schaub an extension.
How do you feel about that?
He gave Schaub an extension. And I remember everybody saying, you know what, Rick Smith's actually not a bad GM. You know, he's actually, things are working out. We have a good team. You build a good team. It's just funny how things change.
Well, what I don't understand is Rick Smith was giving extensions to players that were coming off injury. He gave an extension to Matt Schaub after he broke his foot.
But nobody was questioning it.
He gave an extension to Cushing right after he just had his knee got blown out. I want to believe that
2020, man.
I want to believe that Rick Smith is a good GM, and I think he might be. I just think that now that all these players from the last year's draft are getting cut is because they don't fit O'Brien. And I don't know. I want him to be a good GM, but I think he's...
I mean, like I said, since 2011, what impact player do we have outside of J.J. Watt? Nobody. There's been no one that's an impact player since 2011.
I think DeAndre Hopkins has a chance to be.
I would agree. I would say the jury is still out when it comes to DeAndre. I mean, he's shown flashes of real brilliance, to be honest with you. That game against Tennessee, that guy was a monster.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to say he's an impact player already?
No, he's not.
Not yet.
Was he a monster in that game because they were putting so much coverage on Andre and not on him?
I don't care how he got it. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
There was someone he still had someone guarding him, right?
Well, have you guys seen that new commercial for the season tickets or for the new Texan season? And it's you see DeAndre Hopkins, you see Cushing again, you see Bill O'Brien, you see J.J. Watt. But what's funny is I think they filmed that before they knew that Andre was going to be back because Andre is not in that commercial.
Yeah.
So
real quick. This is going off the whole season tickets and just tickets in general. I read. Okay, I'm sorry for going off topic, but University of Oregon put out tickets and they're scratch and sniff.
What?
Yeah, I read this Deadspin article. Now they always have like crazy uniforms and all that, but now they just send out their season tickets or whatever to the fans, and they're scratch and sniff tickets. Like I think one of them was like cheeseburger. So let's just mention that. I don't know. Do you think Texas should do something like that, or
Why
is that
not?
just kind of stupid?
They said that,
but it's innovative. Why not?
They said that Andre isn't on any of the tickets. When you get your season tickets, Andre isn't on any of the tickets.
And also the stupid Cowboys put out playoff tickets with their season tickets.
No, they put out.
You can go ahead and throw those in the trash right now.
They put NFC Championship tickets in there.
Fuming.
Yeah,
real
Clayton's
Cowboy-like.
mad. Clayton's mad. He's like, wait, guys, there might be a chance. No, there's not a chance. There's not a chance, Clayton. We love you, but dude, I don't know, man.
I think I like the. Why not do something entertaining like that? Put yourself on the map.
I just thought that was real random. I mean,
you're a 2-14 team right now. Do anything right now to get tickets sold.
That is, I mean, if people are buying tickets just because they're scratching sniff, I mean,
hell, it's like they should start resorting to like minor league baseball, like game promotions, like 10-cent beer night. Like that's never gonna end up great.
Yeah.
One minor league team, I don't remember who they were, but their promotion was you get a free tattoo if you buy a ticket.
No way.
Yeah. I know we're going way off topic here, but it just reminds me of these off the wall stories. I don't remember which. Yeah. I think it was like a single A or double A team.
Oh my god,
that's pretty hilarious. I want to kind of bring us back to topic. Jeremy Dennis, you went ahead and said you went ahead and mentioned how Tom Savage wasn't our future. All right, they're supposed to.
I don't know. I don't.
You don't.
I'm
think
not saying
so
he's not.
Yeah.
But
personally, you're not too fond of the guy, correct?
I don't know. I'm not going to say right now that that's the guy in waiting and that's O'Brien.
But you don't feel confident that he's going to be the future of the Texans.
No.
The dude.
So hold on. So what I want to ask is, next year there's 2 really good quarterbacks coming out of college, assuming they come out: Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota is coming out.
Yeah, he has to.
He has to come out.
But Jameis Winston may or may not. Which one would you rather have personally?
I'll take Mariota over Winston.
I don't know.
Jameis Winston, I don't. He kind of
yeah.
rubs me the wrong way. I don't know the stuff he's been involved in.
I do like Mariota a lot better because I think he's a little bit more. He's a better head on his shoulders.
Who's the other guy?
Brett Hundley at UCLA is another big one that's coming out. I would love to have any one of those three.
But I don't think we're going to have a shot at them if we're going to win 10 games.
I would agree. Well, you can still make trades and trade ups to get in the top 10, and who knows what. I mean, it's not like once you get into 20, whenever you get to the conference semifinals, that you can't get back up in the top 10.
I'm just not sure what their plan is quarterback-wise.
I think it's in. I personally believe it's in the next draft. I really do. I don't think they liked any of these quarterbacks, since why they passed on all of them. They were like, look, I'm not going to go up and get a quarterback that I don't think is going to go ahead and be well, even though I've heard very good things about Teddy Bridgewater so far.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind coming away with Bridgewater and Clowney.
I don't have a problem with.
I think they're looking for next year and realizing, look, there are 3 really good quarterbacks next year. At least on tape, obviously, there's a whole another year, no telling what happens.
The only reservation I have with Savage has a rocket arm. I think he's good, and he obviously has the ability to adapt to systems because that dude bounced around colleges
but
his whole career.
He didn't want to challenge. He was getting challenged by other people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
A whole year.
Yeah, he sat out 2. He only played 2 years of college ball. And that's the thing about him. Like what I've seen on him on film. Like, dude has a cannon. You know, he can adapt to different systems, but the whole fact is that he did not stay in one place for 1 year. That's the only question I have about him, which scares me.
I mean, do you think O'Brien's so blown away by this guy? Like,
no.
Do you think he kind of just fell to us, or they wanted him all along?
I think they wanted him, but not to a point where they're going to draft him in the first 4 rounds.
Right.
Do you think that we go into camp with? Do we go into camp with 2 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks?
I couldn't tell you that. That's Bill O'Brien and Bill O'Brien.
No, I mean, what I'm
we
saying
tell
is
one of the quarterbacks that we got before beginning of the year.
Yeah, because right now we have Fitzpatrick, we have Keenum, and we have Savage. Who do all 3 of them stay? I heard O'Brien only sticks with 2 quarterbacks. So, I mean, who stays, who goes? You know, because 3's company.
3 is a lot. But, I mean, we had 3 last year.
I've heard Keenum's been struggling. He's kind of regressed. I mean, this is just from talking heads on, radio stations and all that. But I already, he's kind of regressed. So if they're going in with two, I'd say Keenum gets cut.
You know what I really love? I really love talking about football again. It feels like it's never – it comes so soon, I know, in the grand scheme of things, but it takes forever. It feels
so long.
It feels so long. I am really happy to be talking about football again. We got the Hall of Fame really weekend, but the Hall of Fame games on Sunday. Michael Strahan's getting inducted.
It feels so good.
It's just nice to know that it's coming back.
It feels so good knowing it's back. Me and Jeremy will be texting each other like in the middle of like May, like, hey man, I miss football. And I'll be like, I do too. Like we almost like start bawling because we just like miss it so much. And yeah, Sunday we got the Hall of Fame game. Michael Strahan got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Was he the only? He couldn't have been the only one inducted, right?
No. You know the whole class?
Crap. Honestly, no.
Well, we can figure that out.
But I think there's shoot, I have no idea. But I mean, that dude's a Houston boy, man. TSU, you know. That's pretty awesome. I mean,
are there any other players in the NFL or previous that come from TSU that you know of?
Not that I know of.
That's a
pretty tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's.
You mean Texas State?
No.
I'm joking.
Hey. That class, that school right there off 288. You leave them alone, man. They got a Hall of Fame inductee going in.
But it's nice to see them go ahead and make it. It's nice to see Michael Strahan make it to the Hall of Fame. But it's pretty. Oh goodness, they had a whole slew of people go ahead and make it into the.
Andre Reed,
great wide receiver that I hated because he played for the damn Bills in 92.
Oh my God!
But we're not going to talk about that because those
Don't break my heart
those
tonight.
are bad memories.
Don't break my
Same
heart
reason
tonight.
We don't talk about Damian Lillard.
Oh, you just had to bring that damn name up. You had to bring that name up.
It's nice to see them all go in there. It's really nice to see football again. I hope I get to see the starters a little bit. I'm curious a lot on. I know this isn't.
They'll be like in the first series. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I know this isn't it's more of a local show and not more of a national, but it's nice to see. I hope I get to see some Eli Mannings, and I'd like to see if E.J. Manuel comes back after he got hurt.
The Hall of Fame game is like
I want to see Sammy Watkins really badly. I think that guy's a Rookie of the Year.
The Hall of Fame game is like a preseason game. It's like so bad.
And you know what? I'm going to love every second of it. I don't care.
I mean, because I'd rather see...
Yeah, it's like organized football.
Yeah, it's good to see.
That means in a matter of 4 weeks after that, it's about time.
And then we've got college football coming up.
College football's on its way.
Here's the thing I wanted to bring up. How do you guys feel about Charlie Strong going and just cutting pretty much almost half the team? I mean, the dude cuts Bergeron. That guy's a senior.
It's cold, but he's trying to make a statement. He's trying to make an imprint. He's trying to show people that, look, y'all are weak. And not to put a play.
They need to do something different.
I'm strong.
UT's falling off.
Yeah, Texas has been weak. Their defense has been weak. I mean, they
get great recruits. Their recruiting classes is still top notch.
Yeah, but you know what? They're always
soft.
They're always like getting
soft.
hell. Garrett Gilbert wasn't Garrett Gilbert like a 4-star recruit?
Yeah, now he's at SMU.
He went into the draft. He got drafted like in the 4th round or something. I think to somebody, but we'll never see him because he is not very good. I mean, look at Colt. I mean, where's Colt at?
Colt McCoy? He's
San
Francisco now, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he still there? No, I think he got cut.
Maybe. I don't know.
They have
like
8 backups. Journeyman backup
quarterback,
that's all he is.
Just sad because he was a great UT player.
No, yeah. I mean, damn. Had he not gotten knocked out of the Alabama game, they might have won that game. They might have won that game.
Alabama was pretty strong that year.
They were very strong. But, I mean, they had it to a one-possession game or something of that nature.
Yeah, they were down by 7. Yeah.
With the ball or something of that nature. I know
it got close for a little bit, but that game was never...
But then
Mac, the game was over. Everybody thought the game was over, and it pretty much was.
Mac didn't let Gilbert throw either. And they just started running. It was terrible.
It was a pretty terrible game. But back to Houston sports, all right? I want to talk about Jared Cozart, Jared Cozart leaving.
Oh, you're talking about
and getting a whole bunch of minor league players. I personally don't want to talk about this much, but it's Houston related. I feel like we need to at least touch base on it.
You talking about the debacle known as the Cozart trade?
I don't. Debacle's a strong word. All right, I think at best he was a number 3, number 4 starter. Number 3, number 4 starters aren't debacles. Hold on. The only thing I'm upset about is the fact that it feels like they're continuing to think that in 3 to 4 years we're going to be contenders, or in 2 to 3 years we're going to.
Well, not signing the number 1 overall pick doesn't help. I mean, that puts you back a year. I don't care if you get the number 2 pick next year.
I think they're freaking out thinking themselves. I think they're trying to look so smart that they end up looking dumb. That's my point of view.
I heard the trade itself for what they got, Colin something of that nature. He's a good player. I heard he might help us. For the record, we need a third baseman. I'm tired of Dominguez manning the third baseman hole. But
the guy that's only hitting like 125.
One of the guys we got was the number 5 overall pick last year.
I mean, we got some decent prospects, and I heard the trade itself was good.
But it was an outfielder.
But I just don't like the fact that we don't have. I just don't like the fact that we don't have a. That it feels like they're continuing to say that
they're just stocking up prospects.
Yeah, we're looking into the future still. Why are we I want a contender. We're actually playing well, and we're having to still trade all our
someday.
Yeah, it's so difficult to. I mean, we're not. I understand we're not the Yankees, but we're not the Devil Rays either, or the Rays. I apologize.
Yeah, you can't say Devil Rays anymore.
We're not. No. We're not the Rays. We're not Miami. We're not constantly trading prospects. We've got enough of a budget, and people will come out there if you can put a decent product out there.
We don't have a budget though, really.
I know, but they do.
What are we spending on money on? Chris Carter? Yay, Chris Carter.
I know. But,
And then you know what else is pissing me off?
but I'm saying that
John Singleton is struck out for like 37 consecutive games. Oh, jeez.
I mean, that's what he does.
He
strikes out a lot.
He's got him done.
This is his first. He's a rookie, so.
Well, I can willing to cut him a little slack, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ready to throw out bust yet.
Yeah, but I mean, it is tough to watch some of the young guys that came up there. Springer's still not back from the DL. Fowler, if I'm not mistaken, is not been back yet for the couple months. So it's tough to watch right now, and it's just tough that the Astros continue to trade people that I thought Astro fans enjoy. I thought a lot of people liked Jared Cozart. He was one of the guys
I would go to the games to watch Cozart pitch.
It's a good story because he's from Houston. I mean, he went to my high school. Not when I was there, but he went there for 2 years. He didn't graduate from there. But so it's a feel-good story, but the trade itself is not a debacle.
Debacle.
I mean, he's not an ace. Pitcher. He's not going to be an ace.
No, I know he's not going to be an ace. I know Dallas Keuchel's a badass pitcher, but I know he's not going to be an ace.
I mean, the reviews of the trade have been positive. I mean, but yeah, like Jason said, it is frustrating because it takes patience, and with the Astros, it seems like you have to have a lot of patience. So.
Well, hell, how long have we been patient for? Since 2009? What? We're 5-6 years into being patient? I don't know, man. I think Luhnow is trying to, just try to prove that he's so smart and can get something happening, but he's outthinking himself. I think he's going to end up screwing himself over. And
time will tell. We don't know.
Going to be good.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Like I said, it's frustrating to watch, but it was not one of my favorite parts of really the MLB season. I've never been baseball is the last on my top 3 sports list. It's number 3. But trade deadline and MLB is one of my favorite parts of the season. It's nice to see all the wheeling and dealing that people try to do. A's bolstered their lineup to the nth degree. They got Samardzija, and then they got Lester.
They got Samardzija a while ago.
And then Detroit ended up pulling out David Price and only losing Austin Jackson and a couple prospects. Which is a huge steal, I would say, for their part.
David Price, that dude,
he's pretty nasty.
Can wheel and deal, man. That guy is nasty.
Those pitching lineups is crazy. He went to Vandy. He might be. Jeremy, do you happen to know if David Price is from Texas?
I want to say he is. I'm not sure.
I think he is from Texas.
But I think
Texas boys know how to throw the ball.
There's no doubt that the A's and the Tigers lineup is pretty sick, right? They're at least their pitching rotation. Their top 3 is better than any top 3 in baseball.
Yeah, the Tigers have 3 Cy Young Award winners in their rotation.
Yeah, they got Verlander
and now the Price.
That's nasty.
It is a pretty sick moment.
But is Samardzija really that great of a pitcher?
He's been good this year. That's all that matters.
Hell, I remember him getting.
Has Verlander been that good?
I remember Samardzija getting battered around when he was with the Cubs.
You remember Samardzija playing wide receiver for Notre Dame?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's in the MLB.
And I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, who would pass up to go to the NFL for baseball? I'm eating my words because that guy has been pretty sick right now. That guy, good decision, Samardzija. I'm not saying you'd have been bad in the NFL,
or however you spell your name.
There's no doubt that it looks like you have made the correct decision.
Yeah,
It has been pretty freaking amazing to watch that former Notre Dame. He played with who was it? Not Golden Tate, I don't think, but he played maybe Malcolm Floyd.
I think he played with Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn. He had someone else.
Golden Tate was on that team.
Golden Tate? It was Golden Tate.
was on that team,
So it's interesting to see all of them in their different paths and success really to all of them. Except Brady Quinn, who's now taking a coaching
I think he's still
broadcasting gig.
I thought he was still trying to work
I just read that he's retiring and doing
He's retiring and doing broadcasting now. He did that earlier this week. He made that announcement.
Oh, poor Brady.
But it's like I said, trade deadline always one of my favorite moments in the baseball season, if not my favorite. It's probably maybe right behind the World Series or a pennant chase, or the wild card race.
What's that? What's a pennant chase feel like? can't remember.
There was one time in 2005 I felt that.
Oh man, yeah.
What was cool about the Cespedes trade was they actually traded like major leaguer for major leaguer. You don't see that very often. Usually it's major leaguer for some prospects.
Yeah, people that you don't think you're going to hear for the next year.
That doesn't happen very often.
Here's what I hear about that is Oakland is notoriously cheap. Notoriously cheap. So they were, apparently what their deal was, they were like, well, his contract's going to come up pretty soon, and the way he's playing and the way, everything he does, we can't afford this. We can't afford this, so we got to ship him off and get what we can.
Right.
And so who they got? They got Lester, right?
John Lester.
Yeah. Which isn't bad, but I mean, Lester's what, 35?
No, he's a relatively young guy. I don't think he's that old. But it is interesting to see the major leaguer for major leaguer. I never thought Lester was that great, but his playoff record is pretty good. Now, he always played with a loaded team that was really good at hitting the ball with those Red Sox of the mid-2000s and whatnot.
So the Red Sox just doing the towel though, pretty much. I mean,
they were bottom of the barrel when it came to their.
How does that happen? You win the World Series when the next year you're not even close.
It all falls apart. Sometimes, I mean, things happen. The 2004 Astro team, my father said was the best Astro team he ever saw. The problem was our pitching sucked balls. And 2005, our pitching was lights out, and we added nobody. And we lost Carlos Beltran, who was the man on that team, and that year.
Wait, our 2004 pitching sucked?
Yeah.
How?
Well, they just weren't as good. They were lights out in the playoffs of 2005, which is why we got to the World Series.
In 2005, we didn't have any offense.
Yeah.
Our offense sucked.
Because our pitching carried us to the World Series.
Whoa, you know what? No, what screwed us on that 2004 run was where they kind of like laid off on Game 6. And they're like, well, we have Game 7. We'll have Clemens go to the mound. And then they didn't make it.
Oh, well, it's all water under the bridge at this point.
You had Beltran who jacked 8 home runs.
8 home runs in a matter of
postseason
12, 13 games.
Oh, my God.
He was so good.
That guy was nails,
and
man.
And then next year, we could not hit. But we managed to go ahead and have stellar pitching all the way to the...
Hell, what was that, dude? What was that, the utility infielder that tied up the game in the first game of the World Series?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. No, it wasn't Chris Burke. But Jesus Christ. Oh, Eric Buntlett. No. He played on the Yankees. Crap.
I don't know. It's unimportant.
Dominican
it's water, like
dude.
I said, water under the bridge. This was years ago.
This isn't water under the bridge. It still hurts.
It does still hurt, but not to a point where it's, 92.
That was the last time I cried over a sporting event. I was 21, and I watched the Astros lose the World Series. Oh, it hurts. Oh, damn you, Jason.
Oh, well, though. You know what I mean?
You're not my friend right now.
I'm hoping the Astros go ahead and they become buyers here sooner rather than later. Because it would be nice to go ahead and finally get that big free agent like we did with Carlos Beltran or we did with Randy Johnson again.
Okay, but I want to check this out. Keeping within Houston, we've got a guy that went to, I wouldn't say a JUCO, but a small college.
Uh-huh.
He's going in the Hall of Fame, man.
Hooray! You're going to have to help me out. I have no clue who you're talking about.
Michael Strahan.
We talked about that. And congratulations, Strahan, on making it to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, man. I mean,
he has the sack record. I didn't know he was as dominant as he was. I was shocked he got to the Hall of Fame. When I think of the most fearsome pass rushers of all time,
Reggie White.
I would have not. The point is I wouldn't have guessed.
LT.
I wouldn't have guessed the guy who went to TSU.
He got that last sack where, he got, the single sack record. Brett Favre laid down.
It doesn't matter.
Laid down.
He deserved it. He was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't remember Mark Gastineau at any point in time.
Yeah, I was too young for Mark Gastineau. Too young. So, Dustin Johnson? Anybody?
That's
Jeremy?
been a hilarious topic, to say the least.
He recently got suspended from DJ for testing positive for cocaine and fooling around with other tour members' wives, apparently. which blows my mind because he's with Paulina Gretzky.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen that woman, Dustin Johnson? That is
Dang it.
sad to hear.
What's wrong? Like,
that's the top of the mountain, right? Isn't Paulina? I didn't think there was someone hotter than, unless you're fooling around on Justin Verlander's girlfriend, Kate Upton.
Are they?
I don't know if you
together?
could go up the mountain. Even then, that's on the same peak as she is.
I don't know, man. Paulina Gretzky.
She is crazy attractive.
Crazy hot.
Paulina, I will never cheat on you. I guarantee you that.
What's messed up was the whole thing about he apparently destroyed like a marriage.
Yeah, I read that too. I don't know. It's a kind of bizarre deal.
It's a very bizarre deal. The cocaine use, I was a little shocked at, but I guess I could see it.
I read he failed a test in 2011 for marijuana, then he's failed 2 more for coke. So now that they suspended him, which just kind of ties in, going back to NFL with the whole drug test. You got Josh Gordon, who is facing a year-long suspension for another failed test. But what I'm reading is he took a second test and passed that one, but they're still going to probably suspend him, but he's going to appeal. My question is, why is marijuana such a big deal? Why is that going to have him out for the year?
Yeah, why is it considered a PED? You know, you smoke weed, like it actually kind of slows you down.
I think
it's banned substance or some shit.
It's on the banned substance list. It's illegal in a ton of states. They just don't want that in the game.
But it's legal in like 3 states.
It's just they don't want that in the game. It's that kind of it's the image that they're always trying to protect. I understand that with the whole allegations with Ray Rice that we talked about a week ago, that it's really ridiculous here recently. But I think Josh Gordon is a fantastic player. He's extremely underrated. And what he did last year for the Browns was nothing short of a miracle. I know this because I played him a couple times in our fantasy football league, and he torched me by himself. With that being said, I hope he goes ahead and gets out for a year so he can go ahead. He needs to straighten up his act. I understand that smoking weed is legal in some states, and it's not that important, and it's not that hard of a drug. There's much worse you could do, blah, blah, blah. But he just has to get his life together in general. Right before he was supposed to go see a hearing with Roger Goodell, he got a DUI.
Well, hell, before Pac-Man Jones was supposed to go meet with Roger Goodell, he went to a script club the night before.
So I don't understand how that makes that. That's not relevant in his case. I understand there's other cases where it's been backwards, but we have got to help this guy.
I just don't understand the punishment for weed smoking is ridiculous. And Ray Rice gets 2 games for knocking his wife out.
Yeah,
that's a little insane.
The rules are very awkward and weird, and there's no argument about that. They definitely need to figure out what the heck's going on. But I do hope he gets, at the very least, I wanted to see him gone 10 games and have him get checked into AA or some sort of drug rehab center. Yeah. I want to see this guy's life straightened out because I feel like if he quit football by the end of his career, even if he had a successful year, 2 years from now, he's going to be broke.
Well, I mean, you had, Leonard Little killed a guy. Dante Stallworth killed a guy. Dante Stallworth was driving drunk and hit a guy and killed him.
Josh Brent, remember him?
Yeah.
He's meeting with Goodell to try to get reinstated, I think, this week or something.
Yeah, Josh Brent killed a guy, and then, a week later, he was on the sidelines of the Cowboys.
That was weird. I mean, look, I understand that there are past...
Their rules are still...
No, the NFL treats weed like it's a damn...
They don't want... I understand that. They don't want it in their league. And to say that domestic abuse and the homicide or manslaughters or accidental manslaughter, I don't know what the heck they gave all those people. But to go ahead and it's all convoluted. I get that. I get that the penalties aren't matching up. But I don't understand. What I don't understand though is that, or what I want to understand is I want this guy to do better in life. And I want him to get that year-long suspension so he can seriously go ahead and work on himself, become better as not only a better teammate, as Arian Foster told us 11 different times, but to be a better person. I want this guy to do well after football. I want him to have money. I don't want him to be broke and on the street
trying to make a buck or going the Chad Johnson route, going to the CFL and Meta World Peace, who's going to China and all them. I don't want him to be that guy. I want him to be able to retire and legitimately retire. I want him to have some money. And I think with the drug problems and the alcohol-related issues and all that kind of stuff, I think he's having serious issues with that. And I want to see him get better.
If you look at this, it's like when you're in the NFL, it's such a structured lifestyle. If he doesn't have that structured lifestyle, what is he going to do? If he's like, oh, I don't have to be there for games. I don't have to be there for practice. I'm banned from the league for a year. I mean, that could be even a lot worse than just him like, okay, you're out of the league. Just make sure you go to these meetings. Say your meetings are twice a week. There's a lot of bad things he could do in between those 2 to 3 days.
But he's got to start taking steps to fixing himself.
So should the NFL go and basically give him a chaperone and
not a chaperone.
I don't know. I don't see him end up like Titus Young. Y'all remember him?
Yeah.
I mean, he just got charged with a felony, some kind of gun possession.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been out of the league, but that dude, that's one of the the sad stories.
Right. Or Pac-Man Jones. I mean, all those people that just continue to have issues. I don't want him to be like that. I think a year-long ban would help him kind of straighten the arrow, per se. Even though I understand, like I said,
though? He's not going to be playing football. He's not going to be. What's he going to be doing?
He can work on himself. He's got to work on himself as a human being. Go to AA, drug rehab centers, all that kind of stuff. If he wants to play in football, the football clearly doesn't want him if he's going to be smoking weed. He can go ahead and punch his fiance. That's fine. But don't smoke weed.
Well, now, Stephen A. Smith, whatever, suspended. Did y'all hear what he said?
He was suspended for a week because he was he's like, women shouldn't go ahead and incite.
Because I didn't even hear what he said, but I know he caused a lot of uproar.
Yeah, he went ahead and said these women. I don't know if he
said don't provoke it or whatever.
Don't provoke these superstar athletes. What I didn't understand is he said something and it was very wrong of him to say for a week, and Ray Rice still got 2 weeks. It's crazy, but
I don't think Stephen A. Smith. I don't know, man. It's really messed up.
It's messed up, and he should have been suspended. I understand it's easy to kind of be taken the wrong way. I don't think he meant it like that, but he still said it.
I think Stephen A. Smith just misspoke.
I think he did too, but you have to suspend him. There's going to be backlash. You got to suspend him.
Well, hell, apparently Beetle was going after him, and when Beetle goes after you, oof. I don't want Beetle to ever go after me.
Yeah.
I want her to go after me in a different way, but not that way. Because she looks mean. Beetle looks mean.
I would agree.
She look mean? Really?
She looks like she could be mean.
Like
she could get angry.
Give you hell. How about that?
Yeah.
She could mean.
Oh, man. So, I don't know, guys. It's been a pretty slow sports week.
Yeah, no doubt about that. What do y'all think of anything y'all are looking for when it comes to this upcoming preseason amongst the Texans? Is there anything? Are you going to be watching a specific player, kind of looking to see how the offense and defense are run?
You obviously have to watch Clowney. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, okay, obviously Clowney, but I mean, who else are you going to be looking for? Who do you want to see do well in the preseason? I want
to see Suafilo.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how he does because, I mean, blocking guys in college is one thing, but then when you go up to the next level, it's totally different.
How about a non-rookie that you want to see do well? Just to kind of give you hope, like, hey, we got something out here, or we got something over here, we got something behind there.
My personal bias, I want to see Brooks Reed do well.
I thought Brooks Reed moving to the inside linebacker position.
I think Merciless needs to step up and do something. This is his year.
It's make or break for him. There's no doubt about it. It'd be nice to see him. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to see DeAndre Hopkins and Swearinger also play well. I'm curious to see Even though I know we're not going to see a lot of them, I'm really curious to see how our corners do. I think that's an extremely important part of our defense if we're going to be well.
Yeah, we need to see if J-Jo's going to be healthy.
I need to see if J-Jo can play like the J-Jo of 2 years ago, and I want to see Kareem continue to make strides. I think he is.
J-Jo's had groin or hamstring injuries the past 2 years.
He's been hurt quite often. So I'd like to see all that kind of come to a head. Offensively, Arian Foster, I think, obviously is the big one in my opinion. I want to see Arian Foster. That's the big question mark. I mean, in my opinion, Ryan Fitzpatrick is a big question mark, but the biggest question mark we have on offense to me is Arian Foster. I don't know what he's going to bring. He can either bring 800 yards or he can bring 1,200 yards.
Well, Fitzpatrick is going to live and die by Foster.
Right.
I mean, if that running game is good, if Foster produces, then that opens up Fitzpatrick to do his little dink and dunk passes. Mm-hmm. That's going to make him look okay because, like I said, he's not accurate past 20, 30 yards. He just kind of flings it. He has that Favre mentality. The thing about Fitzpatrick, he has that Favre mentality I'm going to try to just sling it in there, but he doesn't have the arm to do it. He doesn't have that cannon that Favre had.
But he's in O'Brien's system.
We're going to go back.
We're going to go back to the system argument. Oh my God, I can't wait.
I know. I mean, I'm very excited to see what the Texans do.
I mean, obviously you want to see Savage, just see him out there. I don't know if you can.
I thought about the quarterback,
second and third team or whatever, but
I thought the number 2 quarterback would be a very interesting watch as well. I mean, would you be sad would y'all be sad if Tom Savage was cut by week 1? They're like, hey, we only want 2 quarters. We only need 2 quarterbacks. Would y'all be upset with that? Would y'all be like, oh great, we just lost a 5th round draft pick?
It was a 4th round draft pick.
He was 5th.
No, I mean that's not going to bother me. I mean, he gets cut, and look it up. He's obviously not cutting it. I mean, he's not. I think we just had to take somebody. I think he fell to us.
I mean, I think he liked him. I really do. I just don't know. I think he liked him exactly where he got him. He wasn't pressured to. He didn't like any of these quarterbacks, but he wasn't in love with any of these quarterbacks where he wanted to go get them. But I don't think he was fond of any of the quarterbacks, really. Well, I think he was really hoping Teddy Bridgewater fell to him. One more pick. Oh, that would have been great.
Basically, what I want to look at is I want to see what the schemes are. It's not about the players. I want to see what the schemes are. If the scheme is good enough for the offense, the scheme is good enough for the defense. Yeah. Any coach, if you're a great coach, if you have a great scheme, you can make those players into something. Even if they're a 3rd, 4th round pick.
I trust Bill O'Brien. I think he's a fantastic motivator. I think he's going to be really just a fantastic motivator, to be honest with you. I think, what he did over there in Penn State after the big scandal that they had, obviously, that he managed to lift that.
4th round.
4th round?
Yep. Tom Savage, 4th round.
4th round pick. But I think Bill O'Brien's a great motivator. I think he's going to get the best out of the team. And I think he's a smart coach. I think he's a very good being under Bill Belichick. I think he's a very good X's and O's type of person. I think he'll put a decent game plan out there. I think he'll motivate the guys. I just hope for some sort of execution.
What I like about O'Brien is I hear that he came out and said this is going to be we're going to have an adaptive scheme. It's like whoever we're playing against, we're going to adapt to what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are.
I hope so, because that's what they haven't been doing the last
Yeah, exactly. Kubiak wasn't an adaptive coach.
Yeah.
And also, Andre came out and said, hey, I like the way this training camp is going because we're having pads on more, we're hitting more, it's more intense than the way the lack of a better term, the lackadaisical Kubiak training camps were.
Right.
It was just kind of we're just going to go through the motions.
I really think Kubiak was more of a team-building type of guy. He wanted to go ahead and make his mark by finding people late in drafts, the Andre Johnson, or not the Andre Johnson, sorry, the Arian Fosters, that kind of people that you can get.
Yeah, just people I can just put into my system and make them a star.
And make them good. I really think he did well in parts of that, but clearly, I mean, I don't think he had the X's and O's and the know-how to go ahead and really.
I don't think Kubiak was as intense. I think that's the problem. I think he was too much of like a. I hate to say it, he was a good old Texas boy, you know, just like, oh shoot, Hank, you know, you're a good guy, you know, just like he stuck too close to his guns, you know, like his friends.
There's people out there that go ahead and there are people out there that go ahead and succeed from that. Like Tony Dungy, he's not really known as a strict guy, but he was a fantastic coach for both the Buccaneers and the Colts for years. Won a Super Bowl.
Oh well, that Buccaneers team should have won a Super Bowl under Dungy.
I would agree. But it didn't, and he managed to win one in Indianapolis. So he was a good coach. But he wasn't an intense coach. He was more of a
but I think that's what we need here in Houston. I think we need like that intensity, that fire, because we haven't had that. I've never seen. I think once I saw Kubiak bitch out the offense on the sidelines once, and that was that Steelers game like 2 or 3 years ago, where I saw Kubiak pull the offense like off to the side, and I saw him just grilling into everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen that before. That is amazing. Wow, yes. But that was it. That was the only time I've ever seen that.
Dom Capers always looked confused. He was always standing there like he didn't know where he was at. Kind of
Which is weird because he was such a good defensive coordinator. And he was the coach over in Jacksonville, right? When they got to the conference finals?
Carolina,
that's right. He was in Carolina.
Coughlin was Jacksonville, wasn't he?
I think that's right. I know he did one of them, but I couldn't remember which one of those two. And like I said, he was a great defensive coordinator. He managed to get that Packers defense when they won, 4 or 5 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So,
I like this intensity, and when you hear somebody like Andre Johnson go and say, hey, these training camps are just, they're intense. I like them. We have the pads on more than we've ever had them on, and we're hitting. That's a good sign. And I've seen videos of O'Brien mic'd up, and he's talking, and he's out there. He's shadowing receivers. He's, receivers running a route, and he's shadowing them like a cornerback. And I never saw Kubiak ever out there doing that thing.
Oh, I don't think Bill O'Brien can guard DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
that could be just me.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just doing the thing. He's just out there like getting involved.
Yeah, he seems like he's a much more involved coach. He looks like he really wants this to work, which is nice to see. He doesn't look like he feels like he's just out there.
And do you think this whole like no names on the back of the jerseys, no Texans decals on the helmets, is it some kind of shtick, or is he trying to just like build like some team unity? Because I think it's just he's just trying to make a team.
They used to have names on the back of the jerseys.
Yeah, on their practice jerseys. Camp? Yeah.
I don't think that, man. I mean, maybe he's trying to go ahead and try to unify him, saying, "Hey, no one person's greater than the whole." But I don't know.
I think it's a good deal.
If it works, it's a great deal. If it doesn't,
yeah, no segues. Segways are out.
Oh man.
Oh my God. So anyway, guys, well, we've tried to talk about as much as we can talk about.
Y'all got any like feel good stories before we head off air?
Oh man,
I got one. I know really everyone here kind of been on me. I'm a huge Clayton Kershaw fan.
Oh.
I love that guy. I really think we're witnessing greatness every time he goes out there and pitches. His last 11 starts, he's 10-0. He's given up 9 runs, I believe, 8 walks with a .94 ERA. He has a better OPS than the people he's pitching to as a whole, which is just crazy. He might win the NL MVP, and because I can't think of anyone else who deserves it on the NL. And he wasn't there for the first month of the season, and he's only pitching 1 out of every 5 days. I think we could be looking at, the next great pitcher since I couldn't even tell you, maybe Pedro Martinez in his prime. When his career is all said and done, he might be one of the 3 best pitchers of all time.
You're talking about Expo Pedro or Red Sox
the dominant Pedro?
Yeah, well, yeah, like I don't ever think that a pitcher actually deserves the money that he gets because they pitch every 4 to 5 days.
Yeah.
But Clayton Kershaw
deserves
every penny.
Yeah,
that dude's making $30 million a year.
He's been really, really. I mean, if you get a chance, I understand that you're not going to go out to Minute Maid and watch him because you're in the NL and now we're in the AL. But if you just happen to be flipping around, you see a Dodger game, check and see if Kershaw's pitching. If you don't want to watch greatness happen in front of you, you probably need to watch that game.
And he's on his way to 3 Cy Youngs in a row?
Yeah, I mean, he could be. I mean, that guy could have 7 Cy Youngs, 350 wins, and 4,000 some odd strikeouts.
I know the Rocket has 7.
Just him. He's alone. If I'm mistaken.
Roger Clemens is the only person that has 7 Cy Youngs?
So.
Wow. That is amazing.
You have any feel-good story? Jeremy, you want anything you kind of just want to mention? That's a no.
Feel good, I mean...
Just anything you want to mention that we didn't talk about?
Not top of my head, man. Sorry.
We hit all the topics that you wanted?
Yeah, pretty much.
Good. Well, I was trying to cater to you, buddy, all right?
Well, tomorrow night I'm going to go see Ben Queller. So I'm so excited. I haven't seen that guy since 2008. So super psyched. Fitzgerald's, if you get a chance to go out there and see a great Texas artist, go ahead and get out there.
I thought it had to be.
You have a chance to. Yeah, you have a chance. It doesn't. You can play whatever you want.
Oh, I'm excited about starting my new job. I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
that's still good.
Congratulations to you. I assume 790 hired you.
No, 610.
610.
Oh,
you're really gonna take it then?
He went to the dark side. Somebody went to the dark side over here.
Congratulations to you, buddy. I'm very excited. I heard.
I can't wait to hear from midnight to 3. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm excited for you to go ahead and start your new job. I've heard wonderful things from you about it, so
that should be a good opportunity. So
congratulations to you.
So, all right, guys. I think that's about gonna do it for the night. Hope you guys all have a great, safe, wonderful weekend. For myself, Anthony, Mr. Jeremy Dennis, and Mr. Jason Graves, and the incomparable Clayton Scott.
Yeah. Thank you, Clayton, and both Clayton and Jose deserve huge shout-outs. They're doing leaps and bounds when it comes to our website, which I definitely I would definitely recommend you go out there and take a look at. We're going to be putting blogs up there. We were supposed to do that this week, but we're all kind of lazy. So
we're
going to do it
don't
this
know
week.
How to do it.
It's Htownlowdown.com.
Htownlowdown.com.
All one word.
All one word. Tell your friends about us, or your wife, or husband, or kid,
whichever,
dog. I don't care. We're also hoping to go ahead and expand our brand a little. We're hoping to go out of town and see if we can get more people to listen to us. Every listener counts. So we'd like to thank y'all. Appreciate it.
We love you guys. Y'all guys have a safe weekend, and we'll get back to you pretty soon as possible. Thanks.
Houston Sports Talk from H-Town Lowdown, here to bring you your latest sports news from your Houston Texans, Astros, and your Houston Rockets. Now, the crew, H-Town Lowdown.
Awesome. Just another day in paradise.
We do have our local open here, in Houston, the Shell Houston Open. When are you gonna do that?
We'll follow you, Jason.
At the minimum, next March.
The biggest bandwagon fan in the world.
Well, when you're 9 years old, of course you're a bandwagon fan.
The USA just got knocked out of soccer. Who's your favorite sports soccer team now in the World Cup?
No one. No. I've changed. I'm not a bandwagon fan.
See him go, but if he's gonna throw a fit, if you're gonna sit back and say, I want to trade, I want to be here, and he just keeps holding out, then you gotta let him go.
So we're from Houston. Let's get a little Houston sports talk in here.